Hello, everybody. This is Nisi, and this is Sis with Ish to Say. Before we get started, please like and share. And if you are not a part of the family, please subscribe and ring the bell so that you're notified every time I got Ish to Say, because you know I got Ish to say about everything. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, last Saturday was Sweeties Day. And I hope everybody enjoyed their Sweeties Day. I hope everyone was made to feel special and appreciated. And you just had somebody just love on you all weekend or on that day. Whichever. I just hope you enjoyed your Sweeties Day. So, I did speak about people that were single on Sweeties Day. And I did say that, okay, sometimes you just don't run into the right person. And I also said, sometimes you're not the right person. And that's okay. That's okay. We all have our different hang-ups. We all have our flaws. Nobody's perfect. But some people just need to work on themselves a little bit more before you trying to, mix and mingle with people. You got to do a little bit more working on yourself before, you venture out and, before you venture out. Okay, you just need to do a little work on yourself. So, there was a guy that I was dealing with. And we started out, he was cool. He was cool. And he seemed to be real protective. And that's one of the things that I look for in a man, because I like to feel secure and protected when I'm with a man. And we were getting to know each other. And I guess maybe he thought, because I was a single mother, that I was looking for a father for my children. And I wasn't. Like, my philosophy is everyone's going to, everyone's going to develop their own relationship. Like, me and him, we're going to develop our own relationship. And if we got to that level, him and my children would develop their relationship, and me and his children would develop our relationship. It's just, how they go. Like, I never want to be in a situation where I'm forcing my kids on a man or forcing a man onto my children. So I was never looking like, okay, well, I'm looking, to try to find a father for my kids. No. But I guess, he thought I was, because I was a single mother. So he started doing like this confession thing. He's like, confession. My favorite movie is Wakanda. Black Panther, my bad, is Black Panther. And I'm like, okay, it had just came out, it was pretty big. People were dressing up to go in, to go and see it. So I'm like, oh, okay, all right, okay. And he's like, confession. I listened to the Disney Channel on my Sirius radio. And I'm like, okay, all right, all right. And so out the blue, he just sends me like this picture of him in a Black Panther outfit. And he is really posing, like he all like, and I was just like, okay, so was this for, Halloween or something? And he was like, no. And let me tell you, in this picture, he wasn't a big man, but he wasn't super small either. And so the costume didn't fit, and the pants was tight. His face was coming out of the mask. It was just terrible, and it was just kind of weird. And so I was just like, yeah, I'm no longer interested. And I deemed him undateable. Like, you don't have to be weird. Like, don't be weird. Like, sometimes people do too much. Like, I think he was doing too much. I think he was just trying to, make himself seem like, okay, he was fun loving and, and my kids was gonna love him. And it was just like, it's weird, because why you just dressing up like Black Panther and for no reason? Like, you're not even, like, I understand if he was like going to like Comic-Con or something like that, if it was Halloween, I can understand that. But how you just got a Black Panther costume just laying around and you just taking pictures posing in it? Like, that's weird. That's weird. So he was somebody that I deemed undateable. Now, I deemed him undateable, but maybe somebody else is like, you know what, I like a man just dress up and just like to have fun and all that kind of stuff. But I didn't. So I also had a friend that was dating a guy. He was an older guy. He owned his own construction business. It's some potential there. And so they are hanging out, getting to know each other. They like spending time with each other. And they decided that, after so long of dealing with each other, that they want to, step their interaction in the relationship up. So all day at work, like, he texting her something nasty, she texting him something nasty, just what they want to do, because they've already decided that tonight was the night that they was going to do what they was going to do. So she gets off of work, she freshens, she gets herself together. She gets in the shower. She gets herself together. Now, she don't have no job where she a big mover and a shaker, but it's just all day body, So, you want to be all fresh when you getting ready to, do what you gonna do. So she meets him at his house, because they decide to meet at his house. And when he lets her in, I don't know what happened in between there, but all of a sudden, when he takes his pants down, like she said the whole room just smelled like butt. And so she's like, yeah, I'm not doing nothing with this guy. Like, yeah, all bets is off, I'm not doing nothing with this guy. And so he's sitting there and he's like stroking himself. And then he's like, are you gonna kiss it? And she's like, no. And he's like, why? I'm gonna kiss yours. And she's like, well, that's okay, that's okay. And so, like, she thinking, like, how she gonna get out of this situation without, like, without him, acting crazy or something. Like, she's trying to make sure she gets out of the out of the situation in a respectful manner. So, somehow they sit down. And he's still talking about, is she gonna kiss it? And so, like, he keeps scooting in on the couch or whatever. And she says every time he scoots, it's just like poof a butt. And so he's still stroking himself, talking about some, you gonna kiss it? And then he says, you want me to stand up? And that's what did it. She was just like, I got to get out of here. And she was like, okay, wait a second. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if you weren't expecting me to come at this time, if you were running late, if you didn't have enough time, to get yourself together, but you stink. And so when she says that, he automatically goes underneath his arms like, I stink. I stink. And she was like, no, it ain't your underarms. It ain't your underarms. It's your butt. And he was like, so he's sitting there looking confused. He can't believe, like, oh my God, my butt stink. Like, oh no, this can't be real. Like, my butt don't stink. So he was like, well, I was cleaning off the table and moving stuff around, and you could tell I'm a neat freak. And my friend just sitting there looking at him like, okay, I don't care what you're saying, like, ain't nothing about to happen, like, you done blew it. And so he goes, all right, let me go get in the shower. And she's like, no, like, you should have done that before I even got here. Like, you knew I was coming. Like, no, like, I'm good. And you know what? It's a few things with that. It's a few things with that. First of all, if you know you're getting ready to do something, why wouldn't you clean yourself up? Like, why wouldn't you clean yourself up? Especially if you want somebody to put their mouth on you. Like, why wouldn't you clean yourself up? That right there, like, you don't have enough respect for me to make sure, like, you even fresh. And then, even if she got there too fast, like, even if he was running late and she got there too fast, he could have been like, sit right here and let me get in the shower. So he just like, you about to get all this stanky balls and stanky booty right here, because we just gonna do it. And then, like, he's trying to give an excuse as to why his butt stank. Like, it ain't no excuse. And how hard was you cleaning this table? That is the reason why your butt stank. Like, that ain't no good reason for your butt to stink. Talking about, I was moving stuff out the way and cleaning the table. Like, how vigorously were you cleaning this table that it made your butt stink? And for your butt to fill up the room, that ain't just today booty. Like, you ain't washed that booty in some days. Like, that ain't. And who have you been dealing with? Did you you own a construction business that you done worked all day and you don't feel that you need to put no kind of water on you? Who you been dealing with that is acceptable behavior? BO is undateable. And my friend deemed that man undateable. Okay? Sheesh. So, also, these people that like to let people know they testing you. Like, oh yeah, well, that was a test and you failed. I was only testing you to see. Like, first of all, especially like with me, like, I'm busy. So usually when someone will ask me out, like, they will ask me a couple of times before I actually would go out with them, because I'm busy. And honestly, I just didn't like dating. I just didn't like dating. So you're not gonna sit here and ask me to go out with you a few different times just to get me out and try to have me go through a series of tests. Like, that's not what we about to do. And then that's all in, like, communicating. Like, if you want something, say it. Like, I don't know why people think, like, well, then I should just know. I shouldn't just know anything if I'm just meeting you, if I'm getting to know you. Like, I shouldn't just know anything. And you shouldn't just know anything with anybody. You have to be able to open your mouth and communicate and say, you know what, I want this, or I don't want this, or I I like this or I don't like that. Like I had a guy ask me for, we were out to dinner, and he asked me if I wanted bread. And I was like, no, thank you. And he was like, oh, well, that was your cue to ask me if I wanted some bread. Dude, the ball right there in the middle. You want some bread? Get you some bread. You might be paraplegic. Like, and then he said that just showed him that I don't serve a man. First of all, we're in a restaurant. Okay? We're in a restaurant. I ain't supposed to be serving nobody. That's what they got the waiting staff for. The waiting staff was there to serve it. Now, you wanted me to, get you some bread. He could have politely been like, you know what, can you get me, can you get some bread for me? Can you give me some bread? And I wouldn't have a problem with it. But don't try to do no testing, because when you try to test me, I'm going to fail on purpose. I'm going to fail on purpose. But those are just a few things that are undateable traits. And those were just a few experiences that I've had and that people that I know have had that, be like, it's undateable. Now, before I go, I want to say this to the ladies. You guys know I love you. You know I love you. Look, I've had a lot of the struggles that you have had. Being a single mother, trying to run a household, being the one that always got to make a way out of no way. I get it. I get it. But no heterosexual man wants to date another man. So sometimes society can make women, it can harden us. Sometimes we used to, having to do everything on our own. But sometimes you run into a man that is willing to be a partner. And you gotta allow that man to be a partner. You gotta allow that man to be a partner. And you gotta allow that man to be a man. Because I hate to say it, because if you are going to be the man, you don't need him. And I know you're gonna be like, I don't need no man. Yeah, okay, we get it. You don't always need a man. Okay, we get that you want a man. But if you were acting like the man, ain't no man gonna want you. And I'm telling you this out of love. I'm telling you this out of love. You know what? And it feel good. It feel good to just sit back and let the man handle it. Just let that man be that man and handle it. Because when you sit there and you try to micromanage that man, and you try to be more of a man than that man, that makes you undateable. Yeah, that makes you undateable. But I'm telling you this out of love. So if you do that, you're going to have to change that. That's an undateable trait. Heterosexual men don't like messing with men or messing with women, men traits. Okay? Alright. So that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in and just joining little old me. Thank you. And before you leave me, please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the bell so that you are notified every time I got ish to say. Bye bye.